Welcome back to BTS Beans FFs. Disclaimer: this is a complete work of fan fiction. Tears are dripping from my insides to see the scene in front of her. She was 5 months pregnant and just came outside for groceries a few minutes ago, but standing in front of a restaurant, what she witnessed were her biggest nightmare. There was standing Jungkook, her husband, who was hugging and now laughing with a girl. She was pretty, just like the covers in magazine. One while looked down towards herself, she had gained a lot of weight in past 5 months. From the past few weeks, one was feeling neglected and lonely in this marriage, mainly because her husband has been distant and emotionally unavailable for her when she needed him. So he don't like her anymore, and that was the reason he was ignoring her, because he found the word itself twisted something inside her as some more warm tears rolled down from her cheeks. She can describe the pain she was feeling right now. He's been ignoring her from week now, and one was beyond hurt, but now when she saw the reason with her own eyes, it breaks her heart into pieces. His ignoring and neglectful behavior over the past week suddenly made sense now, but it did little to elevate the big pain. One's mind raced with questions and self doubts about her appearance and what led to this betrayal. She felt humiliated, heartbroken, and uncertain about the future of her marriage. "Are you okay, miss?" A passersby waiter asked her with sympathy laced in her voice. One heard this look in her eyes as she harshly wiped her eyes before nodding. Yes, I'm fine." She forced those words out and turned to leave. It was hard for her to take even a single step, the blurring of her vision making the situation more difficult for her. One don't know where was she going, but she was just walking silently. It was raining heavily, but at this point she don't care about anything. She was already damaged enough. What more damage this rain could possibly do to her? In fact, the rain felt like a fitting reflection of her inner turmoil, intensifying her feelings of heartbreak and despair. She walked aimlessly, lost in her own world of pain, unsure of what the future held for her and her damaged heart. She silently sat on a bench, looking far towards some passerby, and then her gaze went down towards her baby bump. "What have I done wrong, little one?" she cried, while sobs as she creased her swollen belly lightly. "I promise, Mommy loves you, my love, and I will never leave your side," she murmured with hiccups. What could she do now? Her dignity will never let her go back into his house. She wished her parents were still alive, and it hurts her more. "Oh God," she murmured, swiping her eyes, and taking her phone from her bag. Thankfully, it was still working. "Opa," she sobs out as soon as the other person ended the call. But what's wrong?" "Can you pick me from XX Park?" Sobbing. "Of course. One have two brothers, Jin and Tiang. Parents passed away a few years ago." "What happened when you're scaring me now? Please speak something." She was in Jin's arms, hugging him tightly while silently crying for a few minutes now. "Sugar, for God's sake, please speak something." Nothing happened. They both sighed in frustration. "Then why are you crying like a baby? And why are you soaked in rain?" Did Jungkook say something? Wen stays quiet and he let out a breath. "When, if you say something, then please let us know." Nothing happened. She finally speaks. Both of them look towards her and shake their head in disbelief. The bell rings and Ting returns back with Jungkook on toes. One heart pained to see him there. He was the least person she wanted to see right now. All those painful memories of a few hours ago started roaming in her mind as her eyes burned with unshed tears, but she held herself. "When? How many times I have called you baby? Why you were not picking up? And what are you doing here? At least you should have left a text for me, love." His words stopped when he saw her in this condition as his eyes slightly widened. Oh my god, what happened? Where are you socked in rain? He murmured as he immediately tried to come closer towards her, but she held Jin more tightly. Jennings drops on his rack, and he seems as if he was not able to understand what's wrong, and especially heard this section. But only if you know what she saw. On the other hand, one heart clenched, her eyes only reflecting a mixture of pain, hurt, and betrayal. The look in her eyes spoke volumes about the emotional turmoil she was experiencing. Do you guys have an argument about something? Jingle looked towards Jin and then went as he shakes his head as no. Jin and Yang frowned. If that was not the case, then what was exactly wrong? What happened, baby? When bit her low lip to suppress his sobs as she closed her eyes, but what she saw literally started coming in front of her eyes again and again. Even if she wanted to, she was not able to forget that scene. Wine, trust me, you're scaring all of us, guilt-full in Wine's system, and she wants to throw up right away, knowing she's disturbing her brothers as well. That was the least thing she wants to do. Let's go back home. She got up from her seat as Jin and Ding looked towards her in bewilderment. But wait, what happened now? One faintly smiles, shaking her head. Nothing, and I'm sorry about to cause you trouble, but I'll explain everything later, I promise. With a goodbye hug, she went outside with Jungkook. Still wasn't able to understand the whole situation. The ride back home was silent, but as soon as they reached back home and entered living room, Jungkook broke the silence and tried to know what is going. Was she really fine? What happened? He finally asked. You're scaring me, Ryan. Please tell me what's wrong. Wayne was quiet as she stared him lazily with her wide eyes. He let out a sigh and took a step towards Wayne as he squeezed her cheeks slightly. Is it just pregnancy hormones? She just stared him. Do you want to eat something? Any cravings? Wayne didn't respond. Wayne, please speak something. Are you and baby really okay? Wayne wanted to chuckle on his words, so he finally remembered his wife was pregnant, and probably that was why he was cheating behind her back. As she scoffs in disbelief and jerked his hand away. You're disgusting me, Jungkook. She seethed in anger, taking a step backwards. He frowns on her words and action as his eyes darkened, and he raised a brow in confusion. What are you saying? One chuckles vitally. Stop playing with my feelings, Jungkook, she hissed, tears rolling down her eyes. His eyes slightly softened as he tried to wipe her tears, but Wen took a step backwards. I would never do that, love. You're really a good actor, Jian. Truly deserve a trophy for this masterpiece acting skills. She nodded, and he just stared her for a few happy moments. Will you please tell me what's wrong? He knew she was pregnant and had mood swings, and her hormones fluctuated every hour. That was why he was calm until now. Where were you? He raised a perfect bow in confusion. In a meeting, why? One laughs as some tears rolled down her eyes. His eyes widened as he tried to approach her, but she took more steps away from him in an attempt to maintain distance. Are you done with me, Jungkook? What do you mean? It's simple as it sounds like. Are you got tired of me now and you want someone else in your life who's more beautiful and presentable in your social circle and do not looks like a whale and very much pregnant? One tear stole down her eyes and his ears perked up on her words. What are you saying this, baby? Why would I? When cut him off. If you get tired of me, Ninka, you just have to say the word. I must be hard at first for me, but eventually I'll leave your side anyways. Her voice stutters and her lips trembles. Only she knew how much pain she was feeling at the moment. But now he was getting angry too. Enough, Ryan, stop right there. You have spoken stupid words, and I have listened enough of this stupidity. Now shut your mouth, he almost growled, anger radiating from his voice. His earlier cold and composed demeanor long gone, will smile with tears. Why was it that I had to listen that you are a cheater and you have been cheating on me for how long I didn't even know? Tell me, Jungkook, was it easy to cheat even when your own wife is pregnant with child? He grits his teeth, eyes, and before she knew what's happening next, he swiftly took out his from his back pocket and pointed towards Wen. Her eyes widened in fear and shock. Tear stains started still rolling down her cheeks as she let out a shaky breath. Enough. If you have been quiet till now, that doesn't mean you can speak whatever comes in your mind without thinking about the consequences. One hand went towards her slightly swollen big bump as if she's scared and trying to protect her little one. She was 5 months pregnant and her baby once was visible, but witnessing his actions, she chuckled spitefully. He witnessed her visible reaction and something twitched inside him, but he was already in verge of rage and anger. Here we are, she murmured with sobs as he took a step towards him and pointed directly on her forehead. I'm ready. Now. One hand still on her baby bump, but eyes didn't have any emotions. Then tears, but he didn't fail to notice pain and betrayal in her brown eyes. Realizing what he just did in anger, he ran a hand in his ears in frustration and put it downwards. Why are you putting it? Jungkook, she said in anger. Show me how much I valued you. Point it again and take mine. She sobs out as she bit her lower lip to suppress them from trembling. Guilt started filling in his lungs. I was not in the right state of my mind when. I'm sorry. Wen shakes her head as she forces him to point towards her again while sobbing. Finish it, so you will eventually stop living with your new girlfriend, she chuckles in it. Had these words strike something inside him again? What the baby? Who told you that? I have a girlfriend and I'm cheating on you, he roared, making Wen flinch. Because if there was really a name, he really wanted to the person. No one. He narrowed his eyes. I see it with my own eyes. He stayed quiet for a few minutes, as if trying to understand what she just said. And tell me you see it today, she nods. In XXX restaurant, she nods again, with hiccups, and he let out a sigh of frustration and annoyance with a shake of head and a light sigh of relief. She was my secret agent, in common words, my informer and business partner. I will let out a sob but stir him with a pout. Why do you believe you? I saw you hugging her, she sobs, but a light smile dug her lips, which she hid immediately. I shall show you. He took her to his office and showed her the case file of the woman. One bit her lollip after she went through and read everything regarding that woman with her own eyes. And embarrassment started filling her up because she's been going crazy for hours now after what she saw, and in the end it turns out it was nothing. Oh, that was the only words came out of her lips as she rubs her eyes. God, she had been crying for us for nothing in particular and assumed everything for her own self. How could she act so dumb? Maybe she was just insecure, and the best reason of her insecurities was he himself. He's been spending less time with her lately. Do you believe me now? When was chewing her lower lip as just nods. I told you, baby, didn't you trust me? Why nods with a pout and lower head. Her eyes and nose still red due to continuously crying. I do, but what I saw, she was looking down, not able to meet his gaze, as he pulled her towards him and snuggled, unleashed him feebly, and let out a masculine groan of satisfaction. Are we done with misunderstanding, love? Do you trust me now? When gulps a hesitant lump before nodding. You fine? He murmured, leaving some butterfly on her, which made her close her eyes in ecstasy. Yes, I'm fine. Jabu pulled away as he stirred her for a few heavy moments, and before she realized what is coming up next for her, he picked her swiftly, without any effort, as she let out a yelp of surprise and shock and held his shirt tightly. For her dear life. Are you out of your mind, Jungkook? What are you doing? Picking up my wife. Come on, you need a warm bath. She hit his bicep. I'm whale like a whale now, he scoffs, rolling his eyes, as if I have not picked you before in your pregnancy. When narrows her eyes. Who take you upstairs in our room every night after you fell asleep in living room couch every day, baby? He rose to one's cheeks and neck as she flushed. But still, just keep quiet, love, she pouts as she laid her head on his shoulder. And yeah, we didn't get over our conversation yet. When immediately closed her eyes in anticipation and nervousness and pretend as if she's so tired. Jungkook prepared a bath for Wan, and after taking bath, Wan immediately went to her bed and pretended as if she's asleep because in real she just wanted to avoid a conversation with Jungkook. Next morning, she woke up with aroma of food and her favorite breakfast in bed. It's so good, Koo. I didn't realize I missed your cooking till I eat this yummy breakfast, she murmurs, devouring the delicious meal which have already enlightened her mood, and he just chuckled in response. If you want, I'll marry for you every day, he suggested politely, with a small smile, and beautiful smile rose to her lips. Really? She asked excitedly, and he nods. I would love to have it every day. Yum, she made a sound, and he chuckles in amusement. After breakfast, I think we need to have a proper conversation, one gulps as he looks towards him. God, why he got that charming face? I can't even resist him. It feels like I'm whipped. She whined, talking with her own self. No, you can't get soft now. He does off. She was talking with her own self. I don't think so, she murmurs. Jungkook went off today, especially after yesterday's incident, and when he have not had a proper conversation about the matter with his wife too. One was enjoying sunset while reading a book, and that's when Jungkook approached her as he cleared his throat to get her attention and sit beside her. She looks up from her book and got mesmerized by him. While reading, she smiles. She loved this habit when he takes interest in everything she's doing, no matter how silly it seems throughout the world. What's the story? She pouts, looking through her book. I have not finished it yet. I will tell you after I will finish reading it, she told him, who smiled warmly as he nodded approval and pulled her towards him, while let out a gasp of surprise when he made her sit. You didn't explain yesterday's whole story, baby. One gulps as she tried to run away, but his firm grip on her waist and the other hand on her tummy didn't let her move. On top of that, the baby planned to kick her where his father was touching. Pink smiles as he greased the place slightly. See, a little one also wants to explain everything. It's a long story. I have my all time for you. As silly as it sounds, but her cheeks flushed as she gulps, nervous them. It was nothing serious, but just something stupid. Leave it now. He shakes his head as no. I can't win. Yesterday was a turmoil of emotions. Our life nearly goes 360 degrees in front of our eyes. I need to know what was bothering you in the first place. One sighs as she laid her head on his. I think I was just insecure, she whispered lowly, and he raised a broad question. May I ask why? Don't you know yourself, Jungkook? How do we know, baby, when grits are teeth? You have been acting distant lately, she pouts, as if ready to cry again, and he raises a brow and rubs her back in a soothing manner, while making some random circles, which make her lose her nerve and relax. And when did this happen, love? He slightly pulled her away. His eyes were staring her like a hawk, as if she can see through her soul, and she gulps a nervous lump. Lately, when can sense he was being serious now? Because truth was, she was just insecure for nothing in particular, and when she saw everything yesterday, her slight girly insecurities take over, and of course, being the girl that she is, she make the tiny thing a big fuss and ended up creating a big dramatic scene. Jung was most caring and loving husband ever. He loves her dearly, and especially now when she was pregnant with his child, he is being more possessive and attentive in every matter regarding her. And yesterday she literally gave him a mini That was why it was necessary for him to clear this misunderstanding between them or whatever insecurities was going in her mind. You came home late, she accused as he raised a brow now. He was being amused as well because he already got to know the reason was actually nothing. Well, love, when did I actually return back home late? Yesterday. I came back on time and when you didn't found you anywhere, I searched for you for us like a madman. One slightly felt guilty after listening this as he continued. The day before then, or maybe before that, I don't remember. I was late this whole week, or the week before this, or the last month. The truth was, as both of them lived alone, Jungkook knew when got upset and sad when she found herself alone in home. So just when she was 1 month pregnant, he started coming home earlier than before. Before her pregnancy, normally he returned back home at around 8 o'clock, but now at exactly 5 or 5:30, he is back home, just to make her feel secure and happy or she wouldn't get sad. 2 weeks ago, she was switching with her fingers in nervousness. When you had a meeting, he raised a brow nodding. Ah, aha, mm-hmm. But still, I was back home at exact 6 o'clock when sun didn't even sunset yet. But still, it counts, of course, love. He nods, amused and in a teasing manner, totally being a sarcastic person when just close her eyes in annoyance. Okay, being distance check will make you insecure. When with her lower lip, a sweat bead prickled down her waist. Why don't he just let it go now? He cleared the misunderstanding. She accepted. That's it. She would leave the topic now. That was what going in his mind. Jungkook, she went holding his shirt and he let out a chuckle. Accept the truth then. You were insecure for nothing in particular. She pouted, looking down, and he made her look towards him while grabbing her jaw. I love you, Anne, more than anything in the world, and this little one who creates a baby bump is example of her love. He leans forward and joins his forehead with hers. I got it. It was just your pregnancy hormones and mood swings, and when you saw me yesterday, you misunderstood the situation. She nods, still pouting like a baby, while playing with his shirt button. But don't do it again, love. It hurts me too. Wall looks up as she stares him for a brief second and then nods. I'm sorry. It's okay, love. You don't need to say it. She smiles slightly. In fact, I'm also sorry for losing my temperament yesterday and pointing towards you. Pulch is accepted. I can understand what's rational move, but according to the situation, she said as no. Still, if it was, I was not spot check like that. I promise it will never happen again. When leans forward as she I got it. No need to mention it again. He smiles, squeezing her cheeks. You won't feel insecure again, never. Promise? I promise. And I promise I'll never lose my temper and act irrational the way I did yesterday. I'm sorry too. When I replied to him with, by the way, explain your brother's whole situation too. They were also worried. One with a note and a sigh. Of course, don't worry. I'll call them and explain them. Thanks for watching.